Most people are using it like a search engine. They open the chat, they ask a simple question, they get their answer. And the thing is, that's fine for a lot of scenarios, but there is so much more you can unlock with Claude. So hopefully in this video, you're going to learn a lot more about what you can do with Claude and how you can use AI to supercharge your workflow. Now here's the problem. Claude isn't just one thing. Claude is 3 distinct products. We've got Chat, Cowork, and Code. Chat is the conversation interface. This is the one that most people have interacted with. Whereas Cowork is more of an autonomous desktop agent for helping you get stuff done. Meanwhile, Claude Code is more of a terminal-based agent that can interact directly with your code base, but more recently it is now available in the Claude desktop app. All 3 of these are meaningfully different, so it's important to understand when you should use each one and how you can get the most out of them. And then there's also the models to take into consideration. The main ones people are using at the moment is Opus 4.6 and Sonnet 4.6. Now, these will also depend on what you're trying to do and also token usage, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a bit. Most people don't necessarily know what they should use. Maybe they pick the better model or the model that is supposed to be better at solving problems, not realizing that they're burning through credit. So I'm hoping by the end of this video, if you're building with AI, you'll be able to answer the question of what Claude products should I use to be able to build the thing I'm trying to build. Now, what is Claude? Now, Claude is Anthropic's AI model family, which includes the products that are built on top of the AI models themselves. The model underneath is the underlying intelligence, and then you've got Chat, Cowork, and Code that are built on top of it. Current models are Sonnet 4.6 as well as Opus 4.6. Now, Sonnet is a faster model and normally the default, whereas Opus is more capable at doing more complex operations. But with that also comes with an increased usage of tokens. Now, one of the strengths of using Claude is its long context. You're able to paste in a load of information, whether that's entire markdown files, links to websites, whatever it may be. It can handle all of that in its prompt, which means it can then give you a really useful answer rather than going, actually, I don't know what to do with that information. Now, let's have a little look further at those 3 products: Chat, Cowork, as well as Code. Now we'll begin with Chat, the one that most people are familiar with. Now Chat, you can use Chat both on your mobile phone, you can use it in the desktop app, but you can also use it in the web at claude.ai. Now this is where you would use it for a lot of, sort of standard operations. You type out a question, you get a response. So I could ask it, what is the weather in London tomorrow? And here it's going to be able to give me an answer about that in a second. And as you can see here, it's been able to get me that answer, and it's told me the temperature here in Fahrenheit. Now, one of the key things about Chat is it has a memory, so you can keep asking lots of questions and it will figure out from what you're saying is useful to remember later so that it has some additional context. Maybe you'll talk about some sort of particular hobby that you like doing or something you do regularly, and it can then factor that into when it gives you a response. So now that I've asked it about the weather in London, it will probably remember that London is a key location for what I'm interested in, which means in the future, if you ask it about the weather but you don't specify a location, it might just default to London. Now, you can also create projects with Chat as well, and then you can share these amongst team members if you're using a team plan. So you can organize your different chats as well. So there's a nice little benefit there. Now, along with Chat, we also have Cowork, which you can see here is at the top of the screen. Now, Cowork sort of takes Chat and makes it even further. Now, some people, as I was sort of researching for this video, are very fond of using Chat because of that memory element. But Cowork helps you get stuff done beyond just giving you responses. So what we can do is we can work in a project, but we can also select a particular directory. So I make video scripts, for example, for these videos, and now Claude can go and interact with those files directly. Now, something else that's interesting as well is maybe I'll tell it to go write a number of different scripts. I can also tell it to do multiple things at once. And what it will do is it will spawn sub-agents and it can do all of those different tasks in parallel. Whereas with Chat, it's very linear. You ask it a question, you wait for a response, you get the response, and you can respond. Right? It's very backwards and forwards. Whereas with Cowork, you can sort of give it one big prompt and then it can figure out how to achieve that by spawning multiple agents to go do the different little bits and then come back as one. And I guess the last main thing about Cowork is it can connect to different tools, such as the Microsoft and Google Office suites. And I guess the other thing about Cowork is it can connect to a bunch of different tools. Those tools can be, document sort of tools, slideshows, spreadsheets, but you can also connect it to things like GitHub, Slack, and so on. So it gives you the ability to connect to tools that have context, that have information, but then it can also create files, change files directly on those platforms without you having to take the response from here and then go put it there. So it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. And then the thing that makes it really nice for teams as well is you can create those projects and then you can share those workspaces amongst other people. So you can have multiple people interacting with the same threads and then they can sort of work collaboratively rather than just having to get one person to do it all. Now, the final piece is Claude Code, which is normally terminal based. You just install it and then you can type Claude into your terminal, which is also great because it means it works on Linux where a lot of developers like to work. And now I can select different repositories that I've been working in, such as the Kestra one. And now I can tell it a problem that I'm having and it can go away and modify the code directly. And then it can also help me with creating branches and pushing that to Git. Here's an example of a bug I fixed in Kestra recently where I was able to describe a bit of the problem. We can actually see here it's using Claude and Chrome to be able to connect to the browser. And then it can interact directly with Kestra's development environment using localhost to be able to confirm that the change it's made has actually worked. So as you can see, it's more than just giving you a response. It's interacting directly with the product. So to summarize, if you want quick questions or quick responses, Chat's definitely the best product for that. If you're doing multi-step tasks that interact with other tools, Cowork is probably the best bet, especially if you don't want to interact with a terminal or code. And then Claude Code is best if you want to either interact with the terminal or work directly inside of the desktop app and you're primarily modifying files and code. Now, it is worth noting that I do use Claude Code for being able to write my scripts using different skills, but some of those scripts do also have some code involved in them, but it's just generating markdown files at the end of the day. I'd probably use Cowork if I was editing things like Google Docs or Microsoft Word documents. It's also worth noting that Cowork and Code are effectively the same thing underneath. They're just slightly different UIs on how you interact with them. At the end of the day, they are still going to achieve very similar results. Now let's talk about models. Should you use Sonnet or should you use Opus? Now, from my experience, Sonnet is probably the best bet for 90% of use cases, just purely because Opus consumes so many tokens. And with Claude sort of hammering down on the 5-hour limit, meaning there's not that much usage, you can run out of tokens pretty quickly using Opus. So unless you're doing something really complex, I definitely would recommend sort of starting off with Sonnet. And if you're struggling to maybe get the solution you're after, that's where maybe changing over to Opus could be a good idea. Now, one other thing that's pretty nice about using Claude, especially Chat, is you can interact with MCP servers, which allow you to interact with a bunch of different tools in a sort of AI agent friendly way, so you know how to interact. Now, Kestra actually has an MCP server that you can find on GitHub, and it allows you to interact with an AI agent directly to Kestra, so you can execute flows, get information, just by using natural language. Now, I've actually connected this already to my Kestra instance, so we can go over to developer, and you can see here, I've got Kestra running, and it can access it, and here's the MCP server, and as you can see, it's running the Python code there to make that work. Now, let's open a new chat window and ask it to run a workflow that I have. As you can see, the workflow here is called example in the company.team namespace. So if I just go, can you run my example flow in Kestra? And so now we can see the model is going to figure out what that means. And if we go back to Kestra for a second, we can actually open executions. And the time right now is 5 p.m. in the UK. So we'll be able to see if this successfully runs. So we'll refresh the data. See here, it's going to want Claude to be able to find a flow in Kestra. So we'll allow access to that. And that's the other thing, you can give it sort of more autonomy as you get more comfortable using it. It's found the 3 flows. So the MCP server has been able to find those flows. I'm going to say the first one. And we're going to see now that it's going to create that execution for us. So there it's created the execution. If we now go back and refresh the page, we can see we've got a brand new execution here. And we can see that this was in fact executed correctly. We can go to logs and see that successfully there. Now I can ask it to check the logs and tell me what it returned. So this is just another great way of being able to have Claude interact with your tools without having to necessarily be an expert in how those tools work. So here we can see that it got that log message in a nice way, and I didn't have to go and do anything particularly weird. So this is a really nice way for being able to interact with tools. So hopefully you've got a bit more of an idea about how Claude works, whether you should use Chat, Cowork, or Code, and whether you should use Sonnet or Opus. The idea was it's just supposed to be a quick video to kind of get you up to speed, but we do have a few other videos planned in the pipeline, such as how to reduce your token usage so you don't run out, but still get the same high quality responses that you would expect. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll hopefully create that in the near future.